2019 Hyundai Sorento or whatever you call it. So the previous two short videos, I explained how this one was kicking my butt. I couldn't find a leak. New condenser. Thought maybe they had a leak at their fittings, but maybe not, because I never found a leak. High pressure nitrogen, low pressure refrigerant under vacuum. And when I first put it under vacuum, explained in the first video, this was literally puffing out a thick stream of refrigerant oil coming out in the mist because the leak was so big. By the time I walked over to go get my vacuum ultrasonic leak detector, when I walked over here, as I walked here, I literally watched the stream of oil that was coming out as a mist shut down, and it started pulling in the vacuum, and it literally fixed itself as I walked here. So I couldn't find it. So I said, well, I don't want to put in $300 in refrigerant and then lose it again. So I filled the system back up with vapor refrigerant, about 4 ounces. It started, it worked, and right in front of me after several minutes, all of a sudden, so it was like 64, 68 PSI. And then when I started it up, it went down to like 15 and can't remember, 78 or something like that on the high side, or even higher. But then all of a sudden I watched the low side start to go down, all the way down to 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, 0. And I started seeing the low side go down, and I shut it off. I shut off the engine. I came back out here, and then I watched the high side continue to go down, and the low side went up a little bit as you shut it off, and some of that high side gas ran off. But then both sides went down to 0 right in front of me. So I said, okay, this is a really big leak now. I will be able to get my refrigerant leak detectors and pump some refrigerant in there and find it. I did that. The leak shut off. It went all the way up to 58 PSI of vapor refrigerant. No leak. It stopped. I couldn't find it with this. It had UV dye in it. It was running. It lost the entire charge of what roughly 4 ounces. No UV dye came out. I was using bubbles. I had bubbles on the connectors. So usually when I see this kind of leak, and I didn't get to hear it with my ears, it turned off before I could get my ultrasonic, and it would no longer leak under vacuum again because I put it back under the vacuum pumps, turned it back on, it sealed up and went all the way down to like 700, 800 microns and held there, no problem. Turn off the vacuum, it held steady. I just filled it up with liquid refrigerant, and it now has 850 grams, and the system is working now. And if you see on the Facebook group where I put up, the first 4 minutes was going up to 212 PSI or so. It was cycling up and down, up and down. I'll post this too where it's at right now. Then it cycled after about 7 minutes or so. It went up to 150 was about its high side. And it was cycling up to 150 and then coming all the way back down to 100 and something. I can't remember what, but it was constantly cycling. Well, now we're into minute 13, and you can see there's almost no cycling of the high side. We're at 119 PSI, and it's flat and straight. As you can see, it's not cycling. It's nice and flat. The low side has steady at 30 PSI. It's no longer cycling. So the first 10 minutes or so, and this is actually off because I had to turn this turned off after about 15 minutes, turned back on, and I had to recapture the signal. So we're about 20 minutes into it. I'm waiting for a leak because of how much that leaked before. I want to make sure I don't walk away and then they shut it off and then it leaks all out. That happens. So let's go back. Let's see, I think we're at 37 PSI degrees, 36 degrees coming out of the dash right now. You see the low side temperature, 36, 36, 36, 36. So the temperature's been staying roughly 36, sometimes 37, sometimes 35. It's that leak. Was the only thing that worried me, because it was so huge that with the vacuum pumps running, it could not go below 27 PSI with both vacuum pumps up and pulling, and it was literally spewing out oil. The leak was so big, and then it shut off. And then the same thing goes with the pressure. Remember, I filled it up with refrigerant, vapor pressure, brought it up to 60 some PSI, ran it, and then right in front of me when I turned off the AC or the engine, I literally watched the refrigerant pressure dump right in front of me down to 0 really fast. And now it's not doing any of that. It held vacuum, it's holding pressure. Hopefully it doesn't dump when I shut it off this time. But that's it. I just had some kick-ass on me that a vehicle wouldn't let me find the leak. But when that happens, it's usually the front shaft seal. So anybody else ever experienced like this? There's some Ford pickups, some late model pickups just recently within the last few years. I got several of them that would do that, where the front shaft seal would give out and wouldn't take a vacuum and was literally bleeding down vacuum, or it bleeded down to a certain level, say negative 15, 16, 17 vacuum, and it would only hold right there, but nothing deeper. If you tried, it would go down and then bleed it back out and stabilize. Those are things that happen when they have defective shaft seals that are not capable of holding the vacuum or pressure. So I see you guys later. Just a funny one that took a lot of time and can really throw one of your technicians to spend a lot of time either saying they can't find it or just right out condemning the compressor right away or not finding it. All right, see you guys. Got a call coming in.